We are going again. Oh shit. What the hell? Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Shit, I just gleeked all over my phone. What in the fuck? No. Oh, good. Nobody.
Niggas on the left, racks to death, hoods on the right, wild for the night, punks in the back, come on in the...
You know what sucks? What really sucks is...
These things just took over me. Just took over my whole body. So I can't even see no more. I'm calling my black woman a bitch.
What?
I'm calling my people
Wu-Tang. I don't...
I'm lost, brother. Can you help me?
Help me.
Can you help me, brother?
Help me, brother. It's Wu-Tang. You can't play music. Like, this whole fucking thing will be deleted and blocked out probably. Even if I only play like 30-second clips.
Your magic is good. That is why he waited. So when my power would dwindle, my power has diminished. Then he kept to kill me. Yes, but I know you come for this too very good. If you practice again, no one could possibly be your match. Big eating weapon.
All I have to do is talk all day, every day. Hang out as long as you want. Jump ship when you want. Get coffee when you want. Go bang the old lady when you want. I don't give a shit. We've got things to talk about. You know we do. There's too much going on in this country. And I want to talk to people. I've got this insatiable urge to just talk, to communicate, to learn, to grow, to contest. I think America deserves better than we're getting. Come on. I didn't say I was the best DJ. I'm learning, man. I think I'd be a good DJ, honestly. You know what I mean? I'd be a good DJ, I think. Some motherfucker's mad right now that I'm wearing this uniform. Bet. They're mad as fuck. They're steaming. Fucking Cash Jack's wearing that goddamn uniform again. That motherfucker, man. This is not for kids, by the way. If you hadn't learned that yet, please get the word out there. My show is not for your children, unless you want them to have the raw, unfiltered fucking truth from a very young age. That's on you. That's on your parenting. So if your kids listen to what the fuck I say, more power to you. You're a powerful parent. I respect you. But I'm going to talk about some really raw shit sometimes. However I want to talk about it, because I don't fucking care. Fuck with. Neither is this. This ain't nothing to fuck with. And that's what they've been doing. Not playing that bullshit. Yeah. We don't play that bullshit, do we? Tammy Lou. Don't play that bullshit in my house, neither. That unconstitutional fuck with my rights. Tell me I gotta purchase my rights to smoke weed or, you know, see my children. Fuck you, man. I'm gonna exercise my First Amendment right that I fought for 20 years. And I don't give a fuck if you like it. Yeah, it gets me moving. Why? It's just my mood. You know, what we're feeling inside. And we don't express it. We're going to change it up. We're not expressing ourselves.
Niggas on the left, racks to death, hoods on the right, wild for the night, punks in the back, come on in the crack to plan in the
What's happening in your world? I want to know.
Niggas on the left,
I need guests. Interesting guests. And I think that there's far more interesting people out there than we realize. We got some really compelling stories out there. Struggles, strife, but everyday fucking life. Us broke motherfuckers that came from the trailer parks, came from the fucking bayous, came from the oil fields, came from the inner city, came from the fucking hills and the valleys and everything in between, came from the deserts. We are the fucking people in this country that aren't being spoken for. We're shit on every day.
150 rounds of ammunition was fired into your apartment, which is about 200 yards away. A few moments later, another 50 to 75.
There's a message.
And you're gonna stand there and tell me you didn't see a goddamn thing. I live like lavish, my chains carrots. The last flame on the train to Paris. Used to be lame and
People don't like what I'm doing. Why? Why don't they like what I'm doing? What's so offensive about Cash Jackson and what he says and what he does? Why do I hurt their feelings so fucking much that they keep my kids from me still? Over 2 years later. I'm a political refugee in the state of Arkansas because Illinois is filled with fucking communists. And these bitches want to fucking... Don't think they don't want to kill me and shut me up. Yes, they do. They don't fucking like me. I give them every reason to fucking hate me. And they do. They hate my fucking guts. That I just will not comply. I refuse to comply. It's the Woo Revolution. I'm gonna play the whole song.
Every square inch of it that he chose for himself is the best part. By every strong woman, you'll find a strong man. And by every strong man,
I want you to mind your business. I want you to know why I do my business the way that I do it. I want you to know the problems that I have in this country go far beyond the state of Illinois and not being able to see my children. It goes from coast to coast. It goes around the world and all the way back to here. I'm taught and told and indoctrinated that a black man is my enemy. That a gay man is my enemy. And those on the left oppose those things. They indoctrinate you to a different degree. The black man is not to love his white brother. He is not. And as a white man, I am not to say anything about this. I'm not black. I'm not living the black experience. But am I living a similar experience? 2 years, I haven't seen my children. Of course I'm mad. Yes. Yes. Mad is not even close to what we are. We passed mad way back there. We left his ass standing in the fucking dust. Mad is nowhere in sight. We're on a whole different plane today. I need to get some water. You can't let go of that anger. God gave you anger as a response to invoke action in you because something has fucking hurt you. Somebody stabs you with a fucking knife. You shake his hand, you look him in the eye and say, "Thank you, sir, may I have another?" You tear that motherfucker's face off where he stands. You use strong, positive, male masculinity to do what the fuck needed to happen before that somebody had apparently not done yet. And if somebody walks up and stabs you in your fucking heart, you rip their throat out. If they're gonna fucking kill you anyway, you might as well just latch on and see who takes the last breath. That's the fight we're in right now. Our fight's with the state. The fucking state, people. They are enslaving all of us. This ain't a Republican or a Democrat. It's not one of these fucking tards that did it the worst. They both did it. Dummies. You big fucking dummies. You're missing the fucking point. The Red's authoritarian. They want to take your rights from you. They want to tell you you can't do this. A service member, they inflict the pain. They cause the depression, causes me to medicate, to use fucking cannabis. Cannabis is my medication. There are side effects to medication. We acknowledge this fact. Smoking cannabis lowers my inhibitions to a degree that I'm willing to share more of my feelings and open up to the world the issues I'm facing and dealing with as a veteran in this country who's fighting to survive in a nation that has a nation state and domestic policy that says I am toxic because I am white. I am not welcome because I am white. We've got a government and an education system that is teaching our children, our young boys, that they are not worthy. And I got a fucking real problem with this. I got a real problem with being told I need to apologize for something I wasn't even fucking here for. I got a real problem with people saying my white privilege protects me when I haven't seen my kids in over 2 years. I'm angry about it. Why wouldn't I be? Most of this broadcast might not even get heard because they bleep it all out. I don't care. I can say what I got to say, and I'm just going to keep on saying it. And I like listening to music. I need to be a fucking radio DJ. I like listening to music, unfiltered, raw. There's messages there. There's political messages that we never picked up on. Truth. People that chose an art form to express themselves. They're one of my favorite, man. And it's not even that I know a bunch of their songs. Like, I wouldn't be able to sit down and just name off a bunch of their songs. But it's like, how Wu-Tang sings is how I feel. Their music relates to me. Rage Against the Machine is another one. Relates to me. I never really considered myself any sort of an anarchist, that I would be an anarchist of any kind. I always believed in government, that government can can still do good by the people. Man, they terminating all of my viewers. Knock them off. Fucking get it down to 0. 16. Keep going, fuckers. Take them all. Take them all. I'm going to say what I got to say no matter what you fucking do. No matter how much Facebook throttles me. Didn't know that. Thank you for sharing. And so many, again, were turned against one another. We're not enemies. You supported Biden? I'm not your enemy. But we need to have a talk about how business is going to be done in this country going forward. Left and right, you're done controlling the narrative. The right's authoritarian, the left's authoritarian. Most of us are in the middle. Some common sense. Just leave us alone. Is it too much to ask that our military learns the Constitution? Is it too much to ask the Chief of Naval Operations or the Secretary of the Navy or the Commander-in-Chief? Is it too much to ask that our service members get these upon entry into service in the delayed entry program? Where they're tested on this, where they learn this? Nobody's pushing this. I am the first one. Nobody's pushing this. I'm going to take credit for it. Because I've been fucking out here hollering it for several years now. Nobody's listening still. I'm just getting louder. I'm just getting more platforms. I'm just going to reach more people. If they censor me here on Facebook, well, I'm going to go elsewhere. I'm going to go in person. I'm going to get a goddamn speaker. I got a 3-foot speaker over here, 4-foot speaker. I'll haul that motherfucker around the country. Why not? Why aren't we learning? Why? Ask yourself that why. If this is so fucking important to America, why is this not in every kindergartner's backpack? If this was important to government and those swearing an oath, we would be learning and debating and discussing this year after year after year after year after year. If this is the most important thing, this Declaration of Independence and this Constitution, if these are the most important things, then we should be fucking doing it together as a nation. Learning how we restrain government from infringing on our rights. Having public, hard, honest, raw fucking discussions. This is how we do it, folks. Ask yourself that. Why are your children not experts on the Constitution by the time they get out of high school? It's a safeguard. It's an understanding. Limitations, restraints. Holding government in fucking place. It's time to unleash America, folks. The true America. Freedom of religion. Leave men in peace to worship as they please. This isn't fucking rocket science. You don't have to have a Harvard education to understand a principle of leaving a man in peace. Leave him be. As long as he's not hurting you or your family or others that you might need to defend. We shall defend others. We should defend others. But we got to start with defending ourselves and our families. They're taking your kids. Do they fucking believe in that? No, they do not. They're taking your children, folks. They took mine. They took my children. And I won't shut up about it. They couldn't discredit me. 20 years of military service said fucking otherwise. That right there says fucking otherwise. That says my country trusted me, loved me, and honored me and respected me for the job that I did. Why did you take my children from me? You're fucking abusing people and I'm not putting up with it. And that's why you hate me. Let me let my dog out. I'm making him nervous with all this. Take 5. I'm going to let my dogs out. And get some off here. We're going nowhere. Boom, 20 of you still here. What the fuck, man? You guys are some really no life having motherfuckers. Still be with me. Not show for your children. That disclaimer stays out there. Thanks for fucking hanging out with me, man. I'm going to turn this down for a minute. Here's the thing. Is that I can just talk and talk and talk until I'm blue in the fucking face. But until we get more of you guys coming out of the woodwork, making your own shows, doing your own shit just like this. This is a true statement, Paul. A lot of people come in from other countries and they really want to get to know this idea about America and her Constitution and her founding fathers and where she comes from. And what's it all mean? This great thing called the American dream. What does it all fucking mean? See, the grand part, the strange paradox that the state has created for themselves is that, in fact, I was a good, obedient, mostly obedient citizen, sailor. I sat in my chair, I stood in my line, I raised my hand, I asked for permission. I said yes sir and no sir and yes ma'am and no ma'am. Yes, Your Honor, no, Your Honor. How was that guy? I was that fucking guy. I was a good redcoat. I was a good one. That was a great one. We needed to fucking go to war, folks. We need to be at war. Somebody's got to be dying somewhere. And if they're not, we got to make people fucking die. George Carlin was a brilliant son of a bitch. These old bastards, they know what the fuck they're talking about. But we don't respect our elderly the way that we used to. This stupid mic. You get over there. You see, respecting our elders and being a good person involves so much more than just being, really clean speech. Not saying things the non-politically correct way. People want things sugar-coated for them. They like it clean. They like it boxed up and packaged so they can put it on their shelf. They can identify it. This is neat. It's orderly. I can control it. It'll sit flat on the surface. It won't fucking fall off. But that's not life. Life is not that way. There's nothing clean or orderly about our existence on this planet. There's nothing clean or orderly about it. Our whole universe is in fucking chaos. You're under this perception that things are going to get better. And it's not. This is the reality. You're in for year after year after year of fuckery all the way to the grave. And it's made worse and exacerbated by man and man's policy and how they believe that they should control the way other people live here and abroad. Our foreign policy is garbage. Why are we blowing shit up anywhere? We've got tens of thousands of fucking homeless on the streets of America, folks. America. Does that mean there aren't services there? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we're not getting to the root causes of the homelessness. Veterans on the fucking street are there and remain so because there's something deeper than being able to just go in and talk to a shrink. Getting some money to get into a fucking apartment. There's more to it. There's more to the people, to the person, to the soul. And that's what they don't fucking understand. They're not getting to the soul of the human being. They're not getting to where it really matters the most. And there's a frustration between the two parties because they can't quite line up and mesh to solve the problem and work in unison together. Because neither realize that the issues being created that's causing the anxiety in all likelihood stemmed from state overreach with that person's parents and that person's parents and that person's parents. And the reality of fucking poverty sucks. It fucking sucks. I live amongst the impoverished. I am well-to-do where I live. These people work fucking hard. They claw, they fight. They try to get up out of their mess. And some are just flat fucking lazy and nobody will tell it to their face. They won't say it. You're just being fucking lazy. Go do something. People say, well, Cash, You don't work. You haven't worked for years. You're right, you fucking simpleton, because I can do goddamn math. And basic math would tell you that if I spent 6 years of my life, that's 6 fucking years, under the ocean, that means I'm at work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It wasn't 6 years continuous, it was broken up over the course of 20 years of naval service and 12 years of sea duty. Roughly half my time assigned to a seagoing command was under the fucking ocean. Gone from my home, gone from my family, gone from fucking everything. And I signed up for it. Fine, I did it. I did the goddamn job. I did what I was paid to fucking do. But when it came time for me and my family, for me to raise my kids, they said, no, you're good enough for every other weekend and 44% of your fucking pay to your ex-wife who makes $100,000 a year in a backwards ass fucking country that keeps shitting all over men and our fucking constitutional rights. You can't tell me they're not doing it. I'm living it today. I haven't seen my kids in over 2 years. And they can't get me to shut the fuck up. Because what I say is irrefutable. They've got nothing. They've got no fucking answer for me. Because I'm not done with these motherfuckers until after they go to prison. Or we go to American Revolution. Oh. Huh? I think that's where we're going. You guys keep me in check, okay? 25 minutes. I got to go wake Marina up. Bonnie, I appreciate the fact you want to punch somebody, but I hope that them being gay doesn't have anything to do with it. I hope that that's a term that you just are acknowledging that he's gay, but it should have, if the guy's an asshole, I don't think gay's important. But yeah, if he's a motherfucker, and if he's hurting your kids, you know, I'm not inciting violence, but hey, if the civil authorities don't do anything, nobody else does anything, what are we supposed to do here, folks? Somebody give me an answer, because I'm not seeing anything. We're all talking, we're all saying it. What's the answer? I'll tell you what the answer is according to the Declaration of Independence. You want to know that? I'll tell you the fucking answer. It's right there. It's right here. It's in this very thing that they don't teach anymore. Okay? Something that I raise my right hand, swear an oath to, support and defend this, that, and the other. Blah, 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 blah. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Come on. Introduction. The sacred rights of mankind are not to be rummaged for among old parchments or musty records. They are written, as with a sunbeam in the whole volume of human nature, by the hand of the divinity itself, and can never be erased. Alexander Hamilton, The Farmer Refuted, 1775. These documents, written on old parchments scrolled away amongst musty records, remain living realities because they eloquently record the sacred rights and responsibilities of human beings. The rights and responsibilities of human beings. You understand that? If we're going to get to the truth of the matter and the heart of the matter in this country, we better start getting to this. We better start reviewing our history and what's happened in this country and how we were founded. And start coming and start saying vocally, we need to start coming to some harsh realities with one another about the state of affairs in this country. Tell me I'm lying. The Declaration of Independence, the central document of American political life, codifies the American political creed. To understand it, however, we must know its origins and purpose. The Declaration was the last American word in the argument between Great Britain and its American colonists. In 1763, the British Empire, the most successful and the freest the world had seen, had more loyal subjects than the colonists of the 13 mainland North America. Within 2 years, however, the first stirrings of disagreement between Britain and the colonists began to disturb peace within the empire. 2 years after the end of the French and Indian Seven Wars, Britain confronted massive war debts. Convinced that the colonists had had a free ride on the backs of British taxpayers, British politicians decided to redress the balance by taxing them. But the colonists protested these taxes as unconstitutional. This controversy put the nature of the British Constitution into dispute. Unlike the United States Constitution, the British Constitution is not one authoritative document framed and adopted at a specific time. Rather, it is the mass of laws, judicial decisions, documents having constitutional status, such as the Magna Carta, and customs making up or constituting the British government. Because the British Constitution is unwritten, an array of understandings of its principles could spring up. Two of these marked out the opposing positions between the colonists and Britain. The colonists saw the British Constitution as a restraint on arbitrary power. Each of its three major institutions, the Crown, House of Lords, and House of Commons, had the power to check the other two. Arbitrary or unchecked power went beyond actual tyranny to include potential tyranny. When Parliament made laws for the colonies as the Empire's supreme authority, it was acting arbitrarily, unchecked. In particular, taxation without representation was tyranny. Parliament could not tax the colonists because they could not vote for members of the House of Commons. Only the colonial legislatures could tax the colonists. By contrast, the British happily gave Parliament its role as the supreme institution in their constitutional system. Parliament had earned this role by defending liberty against the Stuart kings Charles I and James II. Each member of the House of Commons represented not just those who elected him, but all the king's subjects. Under this idea of virtual representation, Parliament could tax the colonists and make laws for them, though they were not actually represented. The 13 colonies, which previously were closer to the mother country than to one another, learned that they had a common cause: defending their liberties. This insight, fostered by the Stamp Act Congress of 1765 and the First Continental Congress of 1774, led them to see themselves as Americans. By 1776, the argument between Britain and the colonies had reached a stalemate. Let me review that. By 1776, the argument between Britain and the colonies had reached a stalemate. The British were not listening to the Americans and had sent British soldiers to bring the colonists under control. The reality of war, which began at Lexington and Concord in 1775, opened American minds to the idea of independence from Britain. That January, Thomas Paine's pamphlets, Common Sense, offered a powerful case for independence. Imagine that. A powerful case for independence rising forward from the words of a founding father in a document titled Common Sense. Beginning by demolishing monarchy, the last linchpin of American loyalty to Britain, Paine showed that the Americans deserve independence and could win it, persuading hundreds of thousands to see independence as legitimate and desirable. Legitimate and desirable. That's what I want to know from you. Is your independence, is your children's independence and their liberty obtainable and desirable? If you say yes, Cash, liberty and independence is desirable. My next question is, do you believe that it is attainable? If you put it all out there, you put it all on the fucking line, is it obtainable? If you finally drop down all of your excuses, you finally set all that bullshit down, you take it outside and put it on the fucking curb where that garbage belongs, can you say to yourself then, yeah, Cash, I do. It is desirable. I want liberty for my kids, Cash. I want liberty for my family, Cash. It's fucking desirable, man. What are you willing to do to get it? What are you willing to do to obtain it? How do you go get that independence and that freedom fucking back? Well, I'll tell you how you don't do it. You don't do it by staying silent. You don't do it by taking the shit any longer. You don't do it by hiring their attorneys and funding the terrorism against you and your family. You're funding the terrorism against you and your family. Law is a market. They've turned this into a for-profit industry. Law is a for-profit industry. Therefore, we can divest from the industry. Pull your money out of the industry. Shit can your attorney. If they're fucking you around, they've been fucking you around, shit can them. Get rid of them. They're leading you on. They're taking you down a primrose path to bankruptcy. Get rid of the motherfuckers. Get rid of them. Divest from the judicial system. Divest. Do everything in your power to make money outside of the law, outside of paying taxes. They don't deserve your fucking money. What they're taking from you right now is unreasonable. Anything else you make from here on out should be yours and yours alone. That's what I think. Is it desirable to you? What are you telling yourself and your kids? Tell me that that shit doesn't ring a fucking bell with you right now. 6 fucking years. This person's been away from their son. 6 fucking years. That's inhumane. That should never exist in this country. Why are we taking it? Why? We don't have to. We don't have to take this shit. We don't have to take it lying down. Stand your asses up. Stand with me. I'll be right there on the front lines, front and fucking center. But I'll tell you right now, I'd rather not go by myself. I would rather have you guys with me. Like he said, you stay strong. You stay strong. You got every right to feel the way that you do. You got every right to feel the way that you do. You got every right to be angry. You should be angry. Say it, I'm angry. Say it. I'm angry. It's good therapy. I'm angry for you. We got to be angry together, not alone. Bring that anger to something good. Bring it to something positive. Let's change the fucking world. Right? Let's change the fucking world for the better. Huh? You're my neighbor. I love you, man. I got nothing on you. You don't hurt me and my family, we're good to go. Don't care what color you are, what your belief system is, what your background is. You leave me and mine alone, I leave yours and yours alone. You protect me, I protect you. Whoever you are. You want to fight racism? We fight racism together. We don't do it through government. Government got it all wrong. Government made it. Government turned black against white, white against black. Government turned man against woman, woman against man. We're not enemies. We're born to be together. You know what I mean? We are born to help one another. To make a change in the world for the better. You're not a bad person because you got a potty mouth like me, or you drink some beer, or you smoke a little smoke. You're not a bad person for that. Come on, man. Those of us fighting to get up out of poverty, trying to leave something for our kids, have a better life than what our parents or our grandparents had. It's not theirs to take from you. I could talk all day, and that's what I might do. All day, every day, just broadcast. No shows recorded, just you want to hear it, you want to be there for it, you got to be here. Tune in, show up, share the broadcast. You think what I'm saying is relating to you? Is there anybody in your audience, in your circle, that what I'm saying would relate to? Bring them into the fold, man. Bring them into the fucking fold. You know you got friends out there that are angry. You got family that's angry. It's a righteous anger, though. They're not just angry for the sheer purpose of being angry. They got something hurting them. And they're looking for a solution. We got to get those solutions together. Bring them into the fold. We are stronger together. As one. United in common purpose. Bring me, you troubled men and souls. We shall suffer together. In joint revolution. Because that's what's going to go down. When all this shit pops off between the Republicans and Democrats, because that's who this is. I mean, and if I had to lean one way or the other, I'll be honest and tell you my bias right up front, I would lean to the right. If I had to pick a fucking side, if I was forced to pick a side, so you know where Cash Jackson stands? I'm going to the right. I'm up the middle, man. I don't like this shit. I don't like it any more than many of you do. I don't fucking like it. Things are dangerous. You feel as uncertain as I do? It's not fear-mongering. It's an observation of the obvious. Jobs are fucking closing. The media is driving and stoking fear about this COVID bullshit. It's fucking bullshit, man. They don't even follow their own protocols. Lori Lightfoot getting her fucking haircut. While the city's in lockdown, this bitch is getting a haircut. Fuck you, Lori Lightfoot. She was another fucking politically motivated hack. She's a plant for the industry, the commies, the Marxists, the socialists, the fascists, the totalitarians, the authoritarians, those who are trying to tell all of us that we got to live like them. And I'm tired of that shit. I don't know about you. I'm tired of the left and the right. I'm not going to see you at church on Sunday. I'm sorry, Grandma. I love you to fucking death, but I smoke weed and I curse a lot and I like women, you know, and I heart too many hot chicks on Instagram. I love you. And I'll split your wood for you and I'll mow the fucking lawn clean the damn gutters, change your flat, work on your car. I give you the shirt off my fucking back. It's the kind of person I am. I love people. But I'm not this super religious right guy. I come from roughnecks, rough people, tough backgrounds. 7 minutes to wake up. You were the man, Paul. Thank you. My man got me. He knows what I'm talking about with those wake ups. We got to wake one another the fuck up, Paul. It's time the wake up call was started here in America. You tell me we can't get more than 23 people on this. You see, this is the problem that I have with Facebook and these other social media platforms. They are throttling and shadow banning, which is weird. It's strange. Because if they're private entities, and I'm advocating for less restrictions on corporations, that would benefit these people, one would think. A more libertarian approach. A more free market approach. But we got a lot of money and a lot of pockets. Thugs in fucking suits. Is exactly right, Nick. Nick, you're supposed to be my enemy, brother. Huh? You look Latino. If I was going to stereotype you, Mr. Hernandez. We had a great conversation not too long ago, didn't we? About the fraud being perpetuated against you that's went on unpunished and unchecked. You are the innocent. You dads there. You are the innocent, the unsuspecting. Our downfall was our pride in believing that because we were men and we were strong, they couldn't get to us. We could take it. Right? We could take on the fucking world, right? Us men. And we blindsided ourselves. We allowed beta bitches to infiltrate our legal system. We allowed beta bitches and fucking fucked up feminists to infiltrate into our government and erode everything that is beautiful and perfect about the way we are born as men. My masculinity is to be admired from afar. No, not because I'm masculine or because I'm egotistical. Because men that are masculine is a beautiful thing. They're embracing their fucking role as nature had designed them. And the left is quick to make the argument about a gay is born this way, a transgender is born this way, a fucking Looney Tune in Portland, Oregon, who thinks he's a fucking dog. These people are so fucked up. The Portland City Council legalized for these people that believe they're dogs. They run around in dog costumes. They fucking legalize for these folks. Now, from a libertarian perspective, be a fucking dog. I don't give a shit. If you're batshit crazy, if you're not hurting people, I don't give a fuck. But you're not going to tell me that what you're doing isn't batshit crazy. If you genuinely think you're a fucking dog, you ever seen a dog put on a suit, dumbass? You ever seen a dog put on a fucking suit like just, let me put on this fucking 5-piece real quick. Let me throw on my pimp-ass watch. You ever seen a dog do that ever in a million motherfucking years? Have you seen a dog get dressed up on its own, and some motherfucker's gonna snatch something off YouTube and send it to me, some crazy shit of a dog running into a shirt. Like, Cash, I found this. Yeah, you smart ass motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about, though. Right? You know what I'm talking about. But we can't embrace the role that nature, that God intended as masculine men. We can't be strong men. We can't be opinionated men. And because we're in America and some Europeans came here, did some really horrible shit and conquered some fucking lands like people did for thousands and thousands and thousands of fucking years, they did what the whole world was doing. Tribes conquered tribes here. Can we be honest about that with my brothers and sisters amongst the Native American community? Could we be honest about that and say some natives did some really horrible shit to some other natives on this fucking land, murdered them, raped them, fucking fucked them up, right? Can we be honest enough and say the native population is made by the same creator that fucking made me, right? So if the creator made me, he made you. If we believe in this divine creator that made you and made me, same for Black America. Do you think that that same creator, if he put some flaws in me, that they're the fucking same flaws as you? Because that's what I believe. I believe you got the same fucked up flaws my race has got. Your race is just as fucked up as mine. Don't be throwing all this shit on white people's plates. Don't make me racist. What, you tell me black people don't rape people? Black people don't murder people? Black people don't say racist shit? Bullshit. I've been called fucking cracker, honky. You know? They fucking let them rip, tater chip. And I give a shit. It's funny. It's fucking funny to me. Now, I don't go around saying racist ass words. I understand the genuine, you know, kind of political, social climate. You're going to get fucked up if you do it. So it's just in your best safety not to, right? Can we agree to that? But don't tell me you're not racist because of some power indifference of whites, blacks, and Hispanics. That's fucking bullshit. For Pete's sake. Jesus Christ. Multi-millionaire, billionaire African Americans are out there. Extremely successful African American black people in this country. Fucking kicking ass and taking names, folks. Doing shit that according to the left they can't do because of the color of their skin or their sex or whatever other fucking excuse they assign. I'm not saying there's no hurdles, no obstacles. I'm not saying that there's not some dirtbag guy out there who's sexually harassing women at work. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you're making this summary of all of these different transgressions and you're assigning them to a select few of us. Me being the white man in America, I am fucking primo target number one from the left. Fuck that guy, they say. Bunch of my friends are Democrats. They're liberals. I hang out with them. Scary, I know, right? A white guy? Is he gay? Why is he hanging out with fucking... It's 12 o'clock. Hold on. Oh, yeah. I'm going to wrap up here in just a minute. Is that what you're asking? How long was I going to get you up? Right now. Wait, you want me to come down and get you up? 20 minutes? You guys fucked up, man. It's after 12 o'clock. You know, she's my caretaker, right? Marina, she's my caretaker. She does a lot for me. I need her help. One, I smoke weed, so I have to have her drive me around because, well, I try and be safe and do the right thing. Not that I've been perfect in that endeavor, if I'm honest. But I make it a point to, you know, utilize the person that lives with me. Where were we at? Race in America? Is that what we were talking about? Look, man, I got so many topics. This thing, I can't do like this 1 hour broadcast, man. I can just sit here and talk all fucking day because I just got a lot of shit to say. A lot. I got about 42 years of bullshit pent up in me. So it's probably going to take another 42 to get it all out. This is my therapy. It's my therapy. This is me treating depression at work. Okay? What you're witnessing right before your very eyes is a retired veteran struggling with a mental disability known as depression, major depressive disorder. And, you know, this is why I can't fucking, I can't go back to work for somebody who's just going to treat me like shit and tell me what, no, I'm not doing it. Because I've got shit I got to say. And no job will let me say what I got to say. There's no fucking job out there that will let me say and get paid to say what I need to say. So I'm doing this in the hopes that maybe I can make a living out of telling motherfuckers just exactly how I feel. But if I can't, I still at least get the benefit of telling people how the fuck I feel. Because I believe that the way that I feel is how millions of others feel. And they're just afraid to say it. I got to go make some breakfast or some lunch. If you want to go over to my Patreon account and or help me out, I'll send up my PayPal profile here. Once in a blue moon, I get, people help me out. I do kind of the obligatory thing here. I fucking hate asking for money. It's just, it tastes like goat shit. If goat shit had a taste that I knew about, what the fuck? That went south really fast. Jesus Christ. Sometime I am my own worst enemy. I recognize this. Oh, man. This is a profession, right? I never really thought of it as a profession before. But it is. I mean, I'd never really considered myself a reporter or a pundit or whatever. Shock jock or anything like that. But whenever I recognize a lot of the traits and things that I enjoy doing, I go, man, I got to find a field that fucking I can get paid to do this. Because then it really is truly effortlessly for me to sit down and just, that is so fucking funny. And I stumbled over that word and could barely spit that so much out. It's because well, so what, man? People use medication, okay? And there's side effects to these medications. Now, the side effects that I have to, say, cannabis, they're not like severe or crazy side effects. They're acceptable side effects that, in fact, I actually enjoy. I enjoy the fact that whenever I use cannabis, I become more, especially, I don't know if it has to do with a certain strain, like an indica or a sativa or something. I don't know. But what I do know is that I become more philosophical about, understanding who I am as a man and my life and where we're at today and how what I really enjoy talking about is that of foreign and domestic policy and how it's shaping our country. You know what I mean? It's a crazy dynamic. Great question, man. Why do they? Well, look, here's the thing. I don't really even have a problem with the media or anyone, picking on some stereotypes about men. Stereotypes exist for a fucking reason. And normally there's some modicum of truth to what the stereotype is. And it makes people uncomfortable because then they want to, be quick to label you as being a racist or something to that degree when you're not. There are stereotypes about white people. There's stereotypes about blacks and Asians and blah, 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 fucking on and on and on. We all know this. So why is it such a problem? We've got stereotypes. Who gives a shit? Quit making a fucking big deal about it. White people can't dance, right? I've seen some white girls on Instagram twerking like a motherfucker, man. I'm here like, holy, like, oh my Jesus Christ. How do they do that? Am I supposed to pretend that shit's not awesome? What? Motherfucker, I love chocolate milk. I love chocolate milk. I showcase chocolate milk, me drinking chocolate milk all the time because I love it. I should be sponsored by Hershey's fucking syrup because I drink so much of their shit. I'm pretty certain I pay Hershey's light bill. Mind you, I've been to Hershey, Pennsylvania as a boy, and it was one of my most favorite experiences fucking ever. A whole town centered around chocolate. Taken there as a kid who loves fucking chocolate. I should be sponsored by Hershey's. Point being, I don't know, what was my point? Were we talking about hot chicks on Instagram or masculinity or both? Oh. Side effects. I see it in Jerry's comment here. That's what brought me back to center. You guys you're nearly like a disabled veteran support team. Running my fucking podcast radio show. You guys are like Costco, you're like Costco employees. You know what I mean? Maybe when this shit, if it ever becomes super big and famous, you guys will have like stock in fucking the Cash Jackson. You're literally like, so when I go back to my doctor asks me, so who's your support team? Well, I've got Carrie Jerry, I've got Jason Casebuyer, I've got Jack Frost, Jerry D. Langley, Nick Hernandez, Aaron Grice. I do not know if any of those are their real names, but they're lovely people and they hang out with me all the fucking time. And we have great conversation. Great conversation. Just like I had with the Army veteran earlier this morning about the side effects of medications he was on. Or that come into play when taking these pharmaceuticals. Because as Jerry points out, side effects of pharmaceuticals need more pharmaceuticals that are usually worse than the original issue. It makes no sense. Cannabis isn't a be-all, end-all cure. Anybody selling that nonsense is full of shit, and they're over-exaggerating the claims for the benefits of cannabis. It's a tool. It's a tool for me to manage the state of mind and emotional state I exist in as a result of not seeing my children for over 2 years. And I'm just going to keep on saying it. And the strange paradox is that this state and their domestic policy created me. They made me. They made me into a monster. And now I am the monster. They fucking detest me. And that's why they withhold my children. This is a form of human torture. Do you folks understand that? You're looking at a person who spent 20 years in the military, deployed all over the world, had a top secret clearance, was a reserve sheriff's deputy in Lake County, Illinois. And all I had to do was say, I don't agree with you, Judge. I think I'm better for my kids than every other weekend and a few hours on Wednesdays. I think that I'm better for my children than that. I've been gone from their lives for the last 3 years, deployed in the military, while their mother remained here in Illinois to keep me apart from my children. And to say that I disagreed was the most egregious error I could have made. You live in a country in where if you disagree with somebody who has the power to take your children from you, if you're like me, they will do exactly that. They will take your children from you. I didn't smoke cannabis until 2018. After Judge Salvi severed contact with my daughter. The last time I hugged my daughter or spent a day with my daughter was March 2018. Right? And the portrayal of me is that all along that I've been a deadbeat or abusive, and they use my videos and my language and how I speak as their tool to destroy my character, to bring me down to such a point that I'm unwilling to fight any longer because the assassination of my character has been so extreme that it's destroyed who I am as a man, as a father, as a veteran. Why is it that the modus operandi of our justice system is to individually destroy every fiber of a human being? What makes them who they are? What gives them the right to do that to us? You've got so much that you want to say. And nobody's given you the kind of platform that you and your kids deserve to get this message out. You deserve, your children deserve, my children deserve to get this message broadcasted to the largest audience humanly possible. I can't think of anybody more deserving of a voice for them than the people that have been so terribly treated inside these family fucking courts. I don't think anybody deserves a voice more than you and your children. You were the ones doing everything right. You were working. You were paying your taxes. You were raising your children. You were mowing your lawn. You were doing it all the right way. And they took it from you. And you don't understand why. I'm here to help you to understand the why it's happened to you and how we need to change this. But we have to have more of us. I mean, 25 of you is amazing. 2,500 of you, fuck, man, we're getting somewhere. 25,000 of you, 250,000 of you. Where are they? Go get them. Bring them into the fold. Bring them here. Here we're going to network. We're going to connect ourselves across the world. We're not going to allow ourselves any longer to go years without seeing our children. It's time that we put a stop to that, you and I. We'll do it together. I'm just sitting so that I can reach more people from the comfort of my home, from the relative safety of my home. I got to go wake Maureen up at 12:30. Don't let me forget. You guys know I'll run over. We should be able to say this as strongly as we fucking want. Fuck CPS and fuck family courts. I got no love lost for these bastards. I'm not saying that you go out and commit an act of violence. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, I goddamn understand. I understand what you're feeling. I understand the pain you have been living with, surviving. You're not thriving because you got a dagger stuck in your fucking heart. You know it shouldn't have been put there to begin with. And whatever you may have done, because in all likelihood you did something that contributed to you going to family fucking court. We all do, right? It takes two. That's in everything. The failure of the relationship and all. It takes fucking two. It's unlikely that it was solely your actions, but nonetheless, you had actions, things that you said, things that you did. And you have to be brave enough to take ownership of those. You have to do that for yourself. You have to acknowledge that you fucked up. You have to acknowledge that you weren't the father or the husband that you could have been. I'm not saying you didn't work your ass off and you didn't try. And I know that it takes two. And you might have been pouring it all out there. I know. And the other one, if the other one doesn't want to try and doesn't work and things don't change, you're left with little recourse in this nation but to go your separate ways and to keep it peaceful and civil, respectful. That's how it should unfold. But the way that it unfolds is they treat you just like they treated Mr. Clayton Weeks. Railroad you. We've got CPS attorneys on record making oral arguments. I believe it was in front of the appeals court or federal district court. Might have been the Ninth Circuit, if my memory serves me correctly, while I'm stoned. But they argue on the record that it doesn't say that they can't lie. They try arguing to the senior judge that it doesn't say that they can't lie. It doesn't instruct them to not be dishonest with claims or accusations of abuse. And you guys are just taking it on the fucking chin. Let me ask you something. Not being a dick here, okay? I'm not being a dick. I just want to point out the obvious. A couple of obvious pieces to those of you watching or listening. The obvious. They are not upholding this at all. Agreed? Okay, we agree. The military are not supporting and defending the Constitution against the domestic enemies here that have taken your children and are screwing you over. They're not. Let's be honest. They are not. Those who swear an oath to this Constitution are not supporting and defending it. So what then are you left to do? You're pumping tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars into the very system, into the hands of the very people that terrorize your communities. And somebody has to be the one to fucking cut it off. Somebody's got to be the one to shut that shit off, turn the valve and say enough is a fucking enough. Shut it off. No more. Family law is an industry of billions of dollars, and it's going to continue to operate and exist as long as you are paying these bastards. Now, I'm not telling you if you got a really great attorney who's doing the right thing to fire them. That would be idiotic. Because there are some really good attorneys that are out there fighting the good fight. And they're doing the best by their clients. But even many of them don't understand the depths of how deep this goes. They don't understand it themselves. They don't understand the social dynamics. But some do. They're taking our kids from us. They're forcing you to pay to see your kids. You are leasing your children. Thank you, Jason. 5 minutes. Copy. They're leasing you your fucking kids. Come on, man. Men in America. If you've got a job that takes you away and you're trying the best that you can to provide and you've got circumstances beyond, like it's going to be extremely difficult for you to have, say, equal custody of your kids and for whatever reason you have to be gone more, pay child support. I don't think any men out there, any good men have an issue with that. Okay, I'm not talking about these fathers who just walked away from their responsibilities entirely. Okay? There are plenty of people that are just complete deadbeats and will not raise their children. That's a whole other issue. It's a whole other rabbit hole I would love to discuss because chances are something fucked them up. That doesn't get talked about. We just go, they're a deadbeat. They're a deadbeat. What made them that way? Ask yourself these questions. I'm not trying to justify anybody's behavior, but what made them do it? Yeah, they got a choice. I agree. I'm not saying that they don't. Yes, they have a choice. I agree. That's not an argument here. Okay? What I'm debating is, if we understand the root causes on why the deadbeat doesn't provide or why the deadbeat walks away, the real ones, we can get a better grasp on curbing that. For instance, 1228 in Texas. Thank you so much. But many of us should never be paying a penny in child support. We should be raising our children as we see fit, equally. Child care should be for you and your kids to work out. Or when the kids are with you, it's your responsibility. There's no rocket science about this. 50-50 equal custody. That should be the national standard. No more child support. You would abolish all of the Office of Child Support Enforcement's websites, all of their industry. Okay? If you made 50-50 the norm, you would be able to run child support collections out of one fucking office. Out of one in this country. Because the minority of parents who separate would be paying child support. We got to normalize equal custody. It can be worked out. Quit coming up with fucking excuses on why you can't do it. They're all just excuses on why you can't do it. I never hear any of you who oppose it I never hear you say, well, let's discuss some ideas about how we could possibly make that happen. You don't even want to have the fucking discussion. You just shut it down right out the gate. 50-50 won't work. Equal custody won't work. Can't do it in this country. Yeah, it can't work if you never turn the fucking key, you dumbass. You have to turn the car on. You got to make sure there's gas in it. I got to go wake Marina up. I'll be back. Tell you what, I'm going to sign off. Go wake her up. Make her some coffee. Probably make her some breakfast. She deserves it. She takes good care of me. We take care of people that take care of us. Us fathers and you good spouses out there, you take good care of those that take care of you, don't you? Yes, you do. Because that's what good masculinity does. You take care of you and your fold. You guys are amazing. I love you. I mean that. I really do. I wear my heart on my sleeve, man. I'm an open guy about it. I'm going to give her a hug just for you, Paul. Don't be hitting on my girl, though, man. We'll fight over that. We got to stick fucking together, man. Stick together. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, I'm going to sign out. I got a feeling, man, my show is just going to be a continuous show each and every day. And you can just join in whenever you want. Who knows what we're going to be talking about? You can pretty much bet, though, it pertains to what's happening in this country. Because we got some work ahead of us. We got a lot of work. Appreciate you guys. Go over to YouTube. Sign up on my that YouTube page, Beyond These Walls Podcast. I might rename it. Hell, I might let one of you rename it. Beyond These Walls, it was what we came up with previously, me and Marina. And I think it's a good, you know what I'm talking about? Get outside these walls, get outside these walls. You get the gist. There's different meanings in there. Take what you want from it. All right, man, I got to run. Let me go get her up. Yeah. Run them out of the state. Their asses out of there. And send their asses to fucking communist China is where they should all go. If you want to be honest about it. We're out of here. I'm ending this broadcast.